Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome. I'm Adriana. I'm an evolutionary life coach, and today I have an intuitive message for you about your spiritual journey and your spiritual focus for this week. So, first card, um, wow, this is your theme for the week, and it's also the energy that the universe is sending to you to play with, to work with this week. And we have the Tower. We have a lot of truth becoming revealed. We have maybe an element of shock coming out. But this, I feel like this is also the universe saying to you, be bold, be brave. Don't be afraid to speak out. Don't be afraid to speak up. And especially don't be afraid to see the truth. There's a solid kind of energy coming through here. I don't feel the chaos or shock so much. I just feel like there's something there's something very ballsy about this energy. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, I can take it. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm not going to shy away anymore. There's really a sense of stepping forward, stepping out of something, and understanding that you're stepping away from something which had to crumble. You're stepping away from something that was outdated. I'm seeing like crumbly foundations of an old building, like when you go to see ruins or something, that kind of idea. That you're stepping away from something that is outdated, it's dry, there's no nourishment or sustenance in it anymore. You're stepping out of it, but you're not scared of it. There's really like I'm saying, bold, courageous feeling happening with this card for me right now. Okay, let's look at your energy. And we have the Six of Wands. A little bit more peaceful than the Tower. But I think this is good. What I'm seeing is that there's a willingness to step into leadership. There's a willingness to be the forward thinker, be the one who's out a little bit in front, a little bit ahead of the pack so that everyone can follow. What I think you don't realize, Sagittarius, is how big of a leader this energy is asking you to be. The Six of Wands is very local. We have 6 people behind him, or maybe it's 5. Yeah, it looks like 5 people behind him. So he's leading a small merry band of men. It's like Robin Hood or something. He's leading a small group of people, and he's a leader in his own site, in his own context. So leadership literally for this card means that he's the one with the falcon. He's the one who's caught all these birds. He's the one with the higher status and the horse. But in the big scheme of things, he's still very small. And what these two energies are saying together is, this is much bigger than your immediate world. This is much bigger than the world that you think you're a leader in. This has a bigger implication, there's a bigger stake, like there's a bigger portion of the universe that this is affecting. So, I'm thinking it also may be something about, I don't understand how this works because this is just coming into my mind here. But when we think about other dimensions and how we affect them, and even how we affect our own dimension, it's like the butterfly effect. A butterfly flaps his wings and then we have a storm on the other side of the world. So when something is happening energetically with you, perhaps it has a big implication, not just for our universe, but for different dimensions as well. And that's why there's a big feeling of boldness, of bigness, of this is much more than just being a big fish in a small pond, a small fish in a small pond, a big fish in a small pond. There's something bigger at stake here. Okay, I am super curious to see what the rest of your message is. As I pull your cards, I would love to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much for joining me again and for being part of a community that really cares about the evolution of not only ourselves, but our planet and our world. So let's keep going. Wow, huge cards. We've got the World. we have the Princess of Cups, and we have the Parallel. So I see you in the middle, Sagittarius, here in this Princess of Cups. And it's as if you can sense through the tips of your hair or your fingertips these bigger energies on either side of you. But at the moment, they're just glimpses, they're just flashes. Like sometimes when you wake up from a dream and you can't exactly remember it, but a feeling kind of lingers with you. It's that kind of energy here. That the awareness of something bigger is coming through in small flashes. It's coming through in these little glimpses, in these little like teasing moments, but you can't grab it. Like the minute you try to grab it, it's gone. With both, so that's one level. With both of these major arcana cards on either side, the World and the Parallels, we have the idea of the masculine and the feminine coming together in harmony. This is the balance of masculine and feminine within ourselves, the balance of head and heart, the balance of logic and intuition, the balance of love and reason, you know, being able to see things with integrity and to have that heart open with love. And you're in the middle, you're in this place of change, the Princess of Cups. You're in this place of change where you're trying to apprehend this blending, but through your emotions. And this conscious wholeness is actually in a space beyond your emotions. This is this is super hard to convey to you. This is really hard to talk about, but I hope the sense is coming through. What you can feel and sense is not, the frequency doesn't go high enough up to really sense this bigger energy that your higher self is trying to invite you to play with. So, you know, if the radio dial only goes up to 100 FM, that's where your emotions can perceive things, at 100 FM. But these other energies that are coming in for you are at like 200 or 300 FM. And the receptor that you're used to taking these emotions in just isn't built to have these such big energies coming in. Does that make sense? It's like the opening isn't big enough. The old way of perceiving isn't big enough. So what in the world do they want you to do here? Okay, how is Sagittarius to work with this energy? This is about leaving behind, to some extent, the concerns of the self, the concerns of the ego. How does this affect me? What does this mean for me? And tapping into a broader, bigger sense of, okay, when I approach this situation with a balanced masculine and feminine, what am I compelled to do? When I approach this situation, when I look at it through the lens of balance of masculine and feminine, what do I want to do? When this is blended, how is this working? It's asking you to pull back out of the personal experience, out of the subjective experience of what does this mean for me, to what does this mean, period. What does this mean for everything? What does this mean for a bigger picture, for the collective? What does this mean in a huge sense, as if you're looking at the whole organism rather than just a little piece of it? So this is a silly metaphor, but if you cut your finger, if you look at it from the point of the finger, you think, ow, 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 I'm bleeding. But if you look at it from the point of the whole organism, there's a couple things. One saying, okay, I need to rest this hand. I maybe need to not use this hand until I'm healed. There's a bigger implication. That cut has a bigger implication. And it's also saying to you, okay, well, I cut myself. I need to pay attention to which hand I cut myself, because that has a message for me. And if I cut myself, it means that I wasn't paying attention, or there's something trying to get my attention. Maybe something is cutting at me maybe someone is trying to cut me down. There's different levels of understanding as to what this cut really means. But when you're looking at it just from the standpoint of the location of the cut, all you can see is your own pain. You don't see the bigger picture. And that's what we're seeing here, is that your guides or your higher self are trying to get you out of this more subjective experience so that you can experience these bigger truths, these bigger harmonies, the bigger joy and the bigger sense of love and satisfaction, and the idea of being connected, truly connected to something bigger. So it's really like a spiritual fulfillment, of spiritual satisfaction that's on the line for you this week. So, wow. Sagittarius, your reading last week was big, but I feel like this week was even bigger. So, yeah, interesting. And thank you for sharing your energy and your time with me. I'm so grateful to you for the ability that I have, for the chance, I should say, the opportunity to share these messages with you every week. It is my heart's desire. It is my heart's soul passion. And I have also really loved doing one-on-one readings for those of you who have come through the channel, asking for that kind of support. And if you haven't considered it yet, or you would like to consider it, trueguidancetarot.com can give you more information. So I'll look forward to seeing you next time, Sagittarius. Have a great week.